If your ex has consistently lied to you, or there has been a pathological pattern of dishonesty, does that tell you that they value you enough? Hello everyone and welcome back. It's Ash, your truth-bombing fairy godmother for everything love, dating, and relationships. Today's video is for those of you who have reached out to me directly and have asked me questions like, should I get back together with my ex? Or is taking my ex back a good idea? And generally speaking, you're asking me that question because your ex has probably done something to really hurt you at some point or really betray your trust, or perhaps your relationship was just all around a hot mess. Therefore, you're on the fence about letting this person back into your life, and honestly, you should be. And I'm happy that you are trying to seek guidance on whether or not you should go back to your ex, which I am more than happy to provide you with in today's video. But first, if you would like to hear me talk about all things love, dating, and relationships every single week, please consider subscribing to my channel by tapping that button below. And if you found today's topic helpful or if it resonated with you at all, please don't forget to help me out by giving me a thumbs up below. Okay, so should you take your ex back? Generally speaking, when someone is asking themselves this question and is feeling really torn about whether or not they should give their ex a second chance, it's for good reason. And I'm not saying that giving relationships another try never works out. I do not subscribe to that message at all. And I know plenty of couples who really got things right their second time around and managed to create really loving, happy, healthy relationships with one another. However, that really only happens when two key criteria are met. A, the relationship didn't have any huge red flag issues such as any type of abuse or consistent pathological patterns of betrayal. And B, both people have gone away during their time apart to become healthier, more loving versions of themselves. They have taken the time to seriously grow, reflect, learn as individuals, and have brought new perspectives, new lessons, new skills, new tools to the relationship that they were likely not equipped with before. But based on the messages I receive from you guys asking whether or not you should take your exes back, very rarely is that criteria met, which is exactly why you're feeling so unsure about the idea of letting them back into your life again. However, I can't tell you whether or not getting back together with your ex is the right move, and it's really important that you make that decision for yourself. But what I can do is encourage you to set very particular standards of what you require from people in your life, and then help you decide whether or not your ex meets those standards. I'm gonna let you guys into my very personal life by telling you a story of something that I have very recently experienced. I've been really close friends with a girl now for about 4 or so years. And long story short, I said something to this girl, unbeknownst to me, that she found insensitive. Which, okay, fine. I am not going to argue with the way something I have said has made someone feel. She's completely entitled to her hurt. However, instead of letting me know that she was hurt, she spent the last 3 months either ignoring me or being extremely short and passive aggressive every single time I attempted to make contact or reach out. And that is a game I do not under any circumstance play. I am a 28-year-old woman. This woman is in her 30s. And if you have an issue with something I have said or you're feeling hurt by something that I've said, speak up. That is the standard I have for all people in my life. Honesty and transparency. Those are some of my biggest core values and what I require from my friends. I expect you to value me and our friendship enough to approach me and have an uncomfortable yet adult conversation with me if it needs to be had. Being nasty and cold to me for 3 months ain't it. So when this person finally did reach out, I let her know that during this period of unnecessary silence, I have very carefully reevaluated the types of relationships and the types of people that I want in my life, and that there is no room for silent treatments or game playing. I let her know that I let you go with nothing but love, but this is the type of shit I will not tolerate from someone who is meant to be one of my closest friends, especially when you approach me without any insight or ownership whatsoever regarding your behavior. And the reason I've told you this story is because this is what I'm talking about here when it comes to deciding what standards people in your life, including and especially romantic partners, need to meet. What are the bare minimum requirements that you hold for people? For me, some of the main ones are honesty, open communication, emotional maturity, and the ability to be introspective. If you ignore me for 3 months in an attempt to make me guess what I've done wrong, you're out. That's it. Because that tells me that you don't value me as much as I need you to. So, for example, if your ex has consistently lied to you, or there's been a pathological pattern of dishonesty, does that tell you that they value you enough? Have they met the standards of what it is that you require? If your friend did to you what your ex did, would you accept them back into your life? I always like asking people that last question because for some reason, we hold our romantic partners to a completely different set of standards than what we hold our friends to. We give our partners way more room to be complete pieces of shit. But why should it be any different? If you wouldn't accept it from a friend, you shouldn't accept it from a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Your feelings of romantic love shouldn't give your partner additional leeway to devalue and disrespect you. And if you are giving your partner, or ex-partner in this case, additional leeway, I want you to really dig deep and ask yourself why that is. Why are you making what this person did to you okay by allowing them access to you again? What is the false belief that you're holding on to about yourself that is living underneath that decision? Because when my subscribers tell me that they're considering taking back an ex who treated them horribly, all I hear is that they don't believe they deserve better. And that's where your work lies. That's what you need to get curious about before you can even consider rebuilding a relationship with your ex again. What false beliefs about yourself are making others' poor treatment of you so acceptable? What unhealed wounds are driving your decision to accept people who have repeatedly hurt you back into your life again? Because make no mistake, it is your false beliefs and your unhealed wounds that are tempting you to let this person back in again. Your wounded self sees this person who hurt you so much, but that you also love so deeply as the healer to your pain. If I let them back into my life again and they can just do me right this time, then I will be healed. Then my broken heart will stop hurting. Your wounded self mistakenly sees other people, especially those who have inflicted the hurt in the first place, as your solution. However, if we paused and really owned our own healing and took the time to really understand our wounds and where they stem from and why we keep allowing people who continuously hurt us access to our hearts and our body, we would understand that the real solution to our pain is right here. And when you go through this process of authentically healing and really channeling your energy inwards in order to get to the root of your willingness to accept garbage, it becomes so much easier to let go of people and relationships who are no longer serving you, because you just see things so much clearer. You are able to very accurately identify those who are meeting the basic standards and those who aren't. So what I want you to do if you're pondering whether or not you should get back together with your ex is to make a list of your personal standards of what it is you require from people in your life and get as specific as possible. And if your ex isn't meeting those standards, I want you to commit the next 2 months of your life at minimum trying to understand why it is that you're considering taking someone back who isn't meeting your requirements. And for those 2 months, spend 10 minutes every single day meditating on that question. A practice I used to employ was 10 to 15 minutes of meditation every single day, followed by a journaling session that could last any amount of time depending on what came up for me. And if you can afford therapy, please see someone, even if it's only for a few sessions, and specifically ask them for homework that you can do that can help you understand why it is that you're willing to accept poor treatment from partners. I am so confident that after really committing yourself to this time out of self-healing, that you will have much more clarity about whether or not getting back together with your ex is the right move for you. Let your ex know that you need some time to think some things through. And if they're not willing to wait 2 to 3 months, then even better. The decision has already been made for you, because I can tell you right now that that is absolutely, without a doubt, not someone you need in your life. Because real love is patient, it's willing to wait, and it's willing to give you the space that you need to make the best possible decision that you can for yourself. See how you feel after a couple months of serious self-reflection and healing, and then report back to me. As always, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this and whether or not I've given you some things to consider when it comes to getting back together with your ex. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you lots, and I will see you all next week.